All right, so welcome to a new video. So I just wanted to start what is going to be a kind of mini series on selling notebooks through Amazon with a kind of income report across 6 notebooks that I sold through KDP and take a look at how much that's earned me, how much it cost me, how passive and consistent that income is by going into my actual KDP account. So for the sake of not making this just an income report, I'm also going to touch upon some of the pros and cons of selling these type of books as well. So a few months ago, I released this video here, which was about how I sold 112 notebooks in 13 days on Amazon. So what I want to do here in this video, like I say, it's the start of a mini series, is to give an update on those books so that you can see the reality behind selling notebooks through KDP and the type of money that you can expect to earn when it comes to actually having a better approach to selling them. So if you've not subscribed and you're interested in following this mini series, which is based 100% of my own experience of selling notebooks through Amazon, make sure you do, because the videos coming up are going to be things like how I actually found niches where people are buying books, how I ran ads to notebooks, and of course how I did things like outsource my book covers as well. So if you ever watch my channel, you know that I typically don't do the whole income report thing, but I think for these type of pursuits, notebooks especially, which have been incredibly hyped up over the last couple of years, I do think it is important to take up the reality here, because I know people are churning out hundreds and hundreds of these type of books and not seeing any sales. But on the other side of things, you have people claiming that you can make $5,000 to $10,000 a month just from selling notebooks. And it's all very misleading. There's this huge discrepancy between what people are saying you can do and what people are actually achieving. So at this point, I feel like I've got enough experience now to report some truth. So let's take a look at the sales that I've made from just 6 notebooks. Okay, so let's come over to my account now and take a look at some of the actual sales figures for these 6 notebooks. So before I go into this, just wanted to apologize if the audio or if I just sound different in general. I'm actually not home on my current setup at the moment. I still wanted to make sure that I had a video out for this Wednesday for you guys to check out. So yeah, if it sounds a bit strange, really sorry about that. Next week will be much better. But anyway, enough excuses. Let's just take a look at the sales figures here, which is why you come to this video. So for these 6 notebooks across, so what I've done here is load up September, October, November, December, and January as well, which is obviously the current month at the time of recording. So the sales figures for these 6 months, for these 6 books, sorry, on September was $173.38. For October was $293.28. For November, not so good, $154.93. December, obviously a bit higher at $239. And then the current date, which is January the 25th, I think it is today, we're at $218 so far this month with those 6 notebooks. Okay, so it looks like we're kind of making around $200 of profit per month from those 6 notebooks, which I think you'll agree, that's, for notebooks, I think that's okay. From just 6 of them, I'm quite happy with that. But it is to be noted that I did run one ad campaign to these books. So we'll take a look at that now. And what I'll do is I'll load up the month where I spent the most money on this campaign, which was in December, obviously. So what we can see here is that I spent $28 in December. So this is the typical amount that I'll spend per month on this set of books. Okay, so my overall ad spend for every book is much higher, but for these 6 books, it typically lands between $20 and $30 a month. So obviously we'll be taking that off the overall profit. So $28 at $20 for this month was one of the highest. 33 orders, a cost of 14%. Now this campaign is an auto campaign, and I've just lumped those 6 books all into one campaign and gone quite low with the click price. The default bid I ran at around 16 cents, and to be honest, I'm really surprised that we're hitting 14% ACOS here, because I've not actually optimized this campaign at all. It's kind of just gone really well. So yeah, for this one, like I say, quite happy. Had a $5 daily budget, which obviously it didn't hit by any stretch of the imagination. We were looking at spending most days between $1 and $2, as you can see here, okay? So just to note here, one of the great things about having a campaign that comes in quite slowly, where you have just, a few clicks per day, is that whilst it doesn't necessarily make me that much money directly from the campaign, it does contribute to keeping the books ranked high. So obviously, the better your ranking your book has, the more sales you're going to make. And if you have a campaign running like this, which is around 14% ACOS, which is actually making a direct profit, then not only is it making direct profit, but it's also keeping your book ranked higher, which is going to contribute to more organic sales. And I'm one of those people, I'm one of those losers that sits and just watches where their book goes. So I like to see what happens when, when I release the book, how long it takes for it to get visibility, what happens after it gets a sale, what happens after it gets 2 sales, what happens if there's 400 pages of competition and I get a sale, how fast do I get onto the front page for certain keywords. I'm one of those people that looks into all that type of thing. And what I noticed is that these campaigns, they definitely help keep the book ranked, not just on the front page, but very high up on the front page as well. Okay, so just to briefly touch upon some of the other expenses here. Now, keep in mind, this might sound like it's adding up a little bit with the ad spend and everything, but what we want is to, we always want to be thinking about long-term goals. So we want our book to get ranked onto the first pages. And then we want it to sit there and make us money, make all this money back, everything, the interior, how much it costs for that, and the book cover, we want it to make all that back over time, and then just sit there and making money, which is what it's doing now. And the thing is, like, I've got books from, I'm not even joking, I've got books from 2011 that still make me money, books from 2018, 19, books all over the place that still make money, that don't need any type of maintenance. And that's the same thing that we're doing here. We're kind of planting those seeds, making our investment back, and then just profiting in the long term. So whilst $200 a month doesn't seem crazy, it's all going to add up. And yeah, anyway, so basically, it cost me about $10 per book cover, so that's $60. I hired someone from Upwork to do it. It was a simplistic job. I'm just too lazy and lacking of skill to create them myself, so it just makes sense for me to outsource them. The other expense was, I think it was Tangent Templates, where I got my interior from. I'm sure there are plenty of other places and free resources that you can get, notebook or lined interiors or whatever. I'm sure there are other places, but I think at the time, a long time ago, that I purchased Tangent Templates, and I thought I'll just use that to do to get the interiors from. So that's $59 for Tangent Templates, and I don't know what that is in the UK. I guess that's maybe 47 or 48 pounds. So just whilst we're having this kind of chill income report type video, I just wanted to touch back upon that whole analogy of planting the seed. So on screen at the moment is I've got a book selected that's made $3,789 here. So this book was uploaded back in 2018, 2019. It was a fair while ago. And if we take a look at what it's earned this month, so this isn't a notebook, it is a very low content book. But you can see this month it's made $167, and that's from one book that I made a long time ago, and it doesn't even have ads being run to it anymore. So the thing is, the message that I'm trying to get across here is that it's the same thing that's happening with the notebooks here. I'm making sure that they are unique and making sure that they're in a niche that's got traffic going to them, and making sure that I'm positioning myself correctly on Amazon to actually get traffic. So, niching down. And then, of course, delivering what the customer expects within that niche, which is going to lead to 5-star and 4-star reviews, which is going to lead to more sales, and it's going to lead to that sort of passive income that you can see here. So like I said earlier, it's no coincidence that when you put more thought into your books, when you put more thought into the launch and what your customer actually wants from it, more thought into your ad campaigns and your keywords and things like that, it's no coincidence that you don't need 5,000 books to see sales. And we're looking at books here where I've made 6 of them to make $200 a month, okay? And I can promise you the niches that they're in, they're not hidden. There's nothing special about them. No niche that I've ever entered, bar 1 or 2 maybe, has been, untapped. And just to use this book as an example again, so this is the one that I uploaded in 2018, 2019. Last month, that book on its own made $801 without any ad spend being sent to it. So the great thing is, this book will sell next Q4 as well. It will make a ton of money during that next Q4. And also the notebooks that I've just shown you the income for, they will also sell a ton during Q4 as well. So again, that's the power of making sure that you do things in a kind of mechanical way to the point where you end up on the first page, you're getting good conversions. And when you do that, you're going to see sales come in for a long time. And that's going to be the point of this mini series that I'm working on here, is that you can see the steps that I've taken to make this happen. And the reason why I want to do it in a mini series is because I tend to release, like, when I do those type of videos that kind of reveal everything, they take like 1 or 2 hours and people don't have the attention span. I don't have the attention span to listen to a video for more than like 5 minutes, so I don't expect anyone else to. So what we'll be doing next week is taking a look at the niche research so that went into these notebooks, take a look at how I found those niches and what you can do to confirm that there is actually buyer interest in those niches. So like I say, if you're interested in following that mini series, which is all going to be all about those notebooks, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel and do the notification bell and all those things. If you want to join my Facebook group, that's going to be in the description below. You can join there. I'll probably alert people as to when the next video goes live and all that. But you know, I'll finish this video now with what I promised, which was going to be the pros and cons when it comes to selling notebooks from my experience anyway. So the pros being, like, this is obviously low barrier to entry stuff. Like, pretty much anyone can do this with a really low investment. It's, you know, there are quite a lot of niches and different ways that you can get creative when it comes to notebooks, because it's basically just, you know, it's like a canvas for your painting, isn't it? You can do pretty much anything that you want. So there's a lot of creativity that can be had when it comes to selling notebooks. It's a really good way to get your feet wet if you are new to KDP and you're a little bit nervous about hitting that publish button. It doesn't really take much effort when it comes to formatting, because once you have somewhere like Tangent Templates, you can pretty much download the PDF and then shove it onto into your Amazon account and it's done. But that, from my research anyway, is that there is pretty large demand. Like, you know, there has to be, in order to make the type of money that people do make from notebooks, there has to be a demand for them, which there is. You know, you can confirm that by doing your research. It makes no difference if people can buy them from the local store. What matters is what happens on Amazon. There's plenty of demand for these type of books. So yeah, you know, in my opinion, there are quite a few pros, but the big con, which can for a lot of people will outweigh all the pros, is that the competition is absolutely huge. And that's one of the reasons, in fact, it's the main reason why so many people are producing so many notebooks and not making any sales. And that's going to be the entire point of this mini series, is to get you that visibility when it comes to creating and selling your notebooks. Because don't get me wrong, like I don't feel passionate about selling notebooks. It's not something that interests me, but I do have a KDP YouTube channel, and I'm aware, you know, how many people are pursuing this and how many people are getting it wrong and wasting time, wasting money. So, you know, this whole thing is to sort of set people onto a much better path when it comes to producing and selling these type of books. But anyway, that is it for this video. Like I say, if you're looking forward to this mini series, make sure you do subscribe and join my Facebook group, and I'll be seeing you next Wednesday.